Top 70 Linux commands you need to know, and we're gonna do it within 10 minutes. Let's start. ls command will list all the files in your current working directory. If you add l switch, it will give a nice list, and if you add a with l, then you can see the hidden stuff. Linux is a big place. Where are you? With the help of pwd command, you can find out. It means print working directory. It will tell you where you are. But if you don't want to be here, you can change that with cd command. Change directory. Just after cd command, tell it where to go. Maybe the root of file system, or specify a specific path. cd ... You can jump back to one directory, and with cd space nothing, we can get back to home. Touch is the quickest and easiest way to create a file. Type touch with the file name and you got yourself a file. You can create more than one file. Every one of those words in that sentence will be its own file. Or we can do some weird stuff like this. We can even create a file in the future by using -d switch and specify the date. A file from the future. The echo command allows you to talk yourself, or you can use it to add stuff to a file really quickly. We'll specify the right arrow and then a name of a file, a new or existing file. But if you really want to edit a file like a Linux Pro, you will use nano. Nano and the file name, and we are editing a file. To save the file, hit Ctrl X, Y and enter to save. Now if you're Linux Pro that thinks you are better than everybody else, you will use vim. Vim, the file name, and now you can try to edit a file. The best way is to hit I to start inserting text, and once you are done, hit space, colon, and WQ to write and quit. Now if you want to see what's inside a file really quickly, use cat command. Cat and then the file name, super fast. And if you don't want anyone to see what's in that file, you can shred it. Shred the file name. Now cat that one again, nothing. No one will understand what is it. You can make a new directory with the mkdir command. Right now he's empty, it's lonely, so let's copy something in there. We can copy a file using the cp command. We'll specify our file and then where we want it to go. If you don't want to copy, you can use the mb command to move the file. Specify the file you want to move and then where you want to put it. We can remove or delete a file with rm command. And we can remove a directory with their rmdir command. But if it's not empty, we can go back to the rm command and use -r for recursive and try that. Done. We can create a link to a file with ln command using the s switch for soft. We'll specify the file and then the link. Now if your terminal is dirty, you can clean it off. Type clear. Done. If you don't know who you are, type whoami and it will tell you. If you want to change, first create a user by using useradd command and then the username. Oh, too bad, we don't have permission. But we have sudo, which means super user do. Type sudo before your command and you are good to go. We can also reverse the command by doing add user instead of useradd, and we'll be able to set some parameters like passwords and stuff. Now if I wanna become Rafi or Raihan, I can do that with su command for switch user. Su, specify the username, and I am Rafi. If you want to see a currently logged in user, type who. But I don't wanna be Rafi anymore. I can use the exit command. Type exit back to me. By the way, the exit command can be used to exit a lot of places. Now if you want to change the password for Rafi, you can do that using passwd command. passwd and then the username. If you want to change your own password, type passwd. If you want to see list of all users, type get.ent passwd and you will get information of all the users. Or you want to check a specific user, you can use id command. id and then name of the user. Let's try to delete user. Type sudo userdel and specify username. You can also use -r switch to delete the user as well as their home directory. Now the next command is kind of weird, but you will have to install it. It's called finger. But to install that, we'll need to learn a new command. On DB based machine, we'll use apt, but hold on. Before we can install anything, we have to update our repositories. We'll do sudo apt update. After update, we'll do sudo apt install and the name of our package, which will be finger. Done. Now we can use that command. Finger can be used to inspect another user. So I might inspect Rafi. It's pretty handy. The man command will help you with things you don't know, which is a lot. You can find out what the finger command does by doing man finger. It will tell all about it, how to use it. Hit Q to get out here. Now a faster man is whatis. Type whatis finger, it will tell you real quick. Or maybe you wanna know where finger is. Type which and it will tell you one place. But you wanna know where all the fingers are. So say where is finger. wget can help you get stuff from the internet. Like maybe you wanna download a book from the internet in text form. And there it is. Another way to download is use curl, which is my favorite. Type in curl, then the URL, and then using the right arrow to direct something else like a file. Done. Now these files are really big. Let's make them smaller. We can zip it up. Zip the file you want to create and what you want to zip inside. Now often you might want to unzip something with unzip command. Specify the file name and some other options. You are good to go. Now if you want to read our files, we could use cat, but it's too big. The better way is using the less command, giving you one page at a time. If you want to see the beginning of your file, type head. What about the end? Type tail. If you want to compare two files to see if they are the same, like this guy and this guy, use the cmp command for a compare. Specify two files and yeah, we do have a difference. But it didn't tell us what it, only told us where. For that we can use diff command. Specify files and it will tell us exactly what's different. The sort command will sort your files alphabetically. For example, I can cat this file and do a pipe, type sort, and at the end, the entered text will be alphabetical order. The find command is nuts and will help you find things. Type find, specify what directory you want to look in. I'm going to look home directory and then specify a name of a file with a regular expression. Done. Files found. You can also find all the hidden files, empty directories, or all executable files. And speaking of executable, how do we make a file executable? We'll change this attribute with the chmod command and do a +x and then the file name. Now it's executable. We can change the ownership of that file with this chown command or change ownership. Specify the user and the file name. Congrats, this belongs to Rafi. You own a file. Time for network stuff. What's your IP address? ifconfig. If you don't have it, install it. Let's try it again. ifconfig. There it is. We can also try IP address, which makes more sense. Some information's just better. Now, what if you only want to see it for one interface? For that, we can use grep. Grep is crazy. Same command, IP address, do a pipe and say etho for Ethernet to see only IP address for Ethernet. We could grep again and do another pipe for inet and it will shows you that line. But what if we only want to see the IP address? For that we can use awk. Just after our grep, I will awk this in a crazy regular expression and get exactly what I want. Now what about DNS? What's your DNS? Type resolvectl status and there it is. Now is your website up? We can find out with ping. We can find out anything with ping. Ping and then the name of the website. Get response forever. Hit Ctrl+C to stop. We can limit that with a -c command. Specify the counts we want to send, just 5. We can specify the size of the packets. If you want to see the path through the internet you are taking to get a website, you can use traceroute command, which is so cool. Now what ports are open on your Linux machine? We can check it out with netstat. This gives you a lot. Let's try netstat-toolpin, which is much better. A modern version for this is ss command, which is basically the same thing. Use toolpin switch and it's nice and pretty. Now what about your firewall? Do you want to block something? If you want to do allow port 80, you could run something like this, which is honestly kind of complex. That's why UFW is way easier. This sits on the top of IP tables and make it easier. If you want to allow port 80, just type sudo ufw allow 80. Done. See what you are allowing with ufw status, which right now is inactive, so we need to active with ufw enable. Then check our status once more. Beautiful. If you want to know more about your system, you can use the uname command. It will tell you a little bit, but if you use -a, then it will tell you a lot. Now if you want a prettier version of all this, try neofetch. Going to install that real quick. apt install neofetch, then simple run neofetch, and how pretty is that? The cow command will give you a quick little calendar here. If you want to check out your memory and see how much memory you have available on your system, just type free and it will tell you what's used. How much space do you have? You can use this diff command, and for more specify df-h command. What about the stuff running on your system, the processes? We can use ps command, which will not tell you much unless you use ps-aux command. If you want to see processes eating up all the stuff, type top. If you want to see that in a prettier way, type htop. That's so nice. If you have a process that you want to kill, do that with kill command. First, we need to get the process ID using ps command and grab the process name. There is the process and its process ID. And I will kill the process with -9 signal, means forcibly killing it, and then the process ID. Goodbye, he's gone. Now even better than kill is pkill, because you don't need to know the process ID. Type pkill, use F switch and specify the name, and it's stopped. To start, stop and reset services or daemons on Linux, you can use the systemctl command if your system using systemd. To start a service, type sudo systemctl start apache 2, or to stop, replace start with stop. Type in status to see what's going on, or do a restart. If you want a history of all we did, type in history, and that's a lot of stuff. And finally, if you want to reboot, use sudo reboot, or if you want to shut down, use sudo shutdown. If you want to do it now, use -s for shutdown now.